I just wanted now to brief you on the discussions among the African feminists on this issue. It's rather radical, but I hope you'll bear with us. One, when we talk about the impact of the economic crisis that has been going on, actually for us there's nothing new. It's one crisis after the other. But at this moment, we are asking ourselves, why? Why now? Why this particular panic? Why? What's happening? What is cooking? We know that whenever people are fighting for their rights, people are demanding for equality and equity, normally something like this happens. I won't go into the details, but historically you will find after every crisis either there will be a war or there will be something, a very drastic change in the way we operate. So we are trying to say, why this crisis now? Are we going to witness a new form of bondage, maybe? A new Berlin conference where the world is going to be partitioned among the transnational corporations, maybe? We are asking ourselves why. That's the most serious issue we're talking. And we have been trying to reflect on the past in order to realize, is this a new game or is it the same game with a new name? What's happening? And this is what we come up with. When we do gender analysis, we try first to look at the root cause of the problem. Unlike our counterparts, they say, we have a crisis now, let's not talk about what happened, let's solve it. We say, let's look at the root causes. Is it cultural? Is it stereotype? Is it patriarchal? What is it? What institutions are maintaining this culture so that every other decade we get a crisis? Is it the family, religion, governments, UN, IMF? Who are these institutions that maintain this culture? And who are the agents? Is it parents, teachers, civil society organizations like us, maybe? Executives of the WTO? Who are the agents? And then who benefits? Is it the majority or the minority? Is it politicians? Is it the corporations? So that's how we use our gender analysis tool. And we feel the economic crisis is based on two main things: culture and empowerment. By culture, we mean a way of thinking, a conspiracy, a means by which a group of people organizes the way they think, believe, and the way they see the world, so as to create a consciousness by which they can cooperate in achieving certain ends, such that they can mutually aid each other and gain ends they can't gain as separate individuals. So culture is an instrument of power, and capitalists and imperialists are using this. And even in ethnicity, in religion, you get the same. Whether it's fundamentalists coming up, basically it's the same. It's a conspiracy of a few. And empowerment is facilitation of being critical, analytical, and self-confident. It's about offering all people equal opportunity to question and analyze issues in a different perspective in order to overcome the subordination syndrome and emphasize on self-identity, positive validation, and self-actualization in order to be more efficient and more effective. Therefore, if I have to say one thing and sit down, I would say it's important for decision and policymakers to acquire gender analysis skills so that they can fight for equality, equity at all levels. And this is one of the problems we have identified why we keep on having the same crisis over and over again. So the World Bank, IMF, and all those other guys need this skill. If you can identify equality and equity in all your programming, maybe we shall begin solving some of the problems. So in order to understand what is happening to us, especially in Africa economically, we have to understand the fundamental nature of the culture of those who are colonizing us today. And I'm saying it purposely because all of us are being colonized by the capitalists and the imperialists. I cannot put it milder than that. And we know that the global system is built on a pyramid. At the top we have the elite group. These are the wealthiest and the most powerful, and they exert control over the global economic systems, the ruling class. Below them we have the international organization, the UN, and our governments. And at the bottom we have the impoverished majority. These are the foundation, the base upon which the pyramid is built on. Now, globalization, they say, is a term used to describe the current expansion of corporate power around the world. And this is made possible by the technological, scientific, and industrial advancement. However, this time it's not nations. In the past it used to be nations. This time the problem is the transnational corporations who are the driving force behind expansion. That's why we're saying it's a new wave of colonization. In the 16th century, if you remember, states licensed companies to take control of colonial trade and markets. Today, organizations such as the WTO enforce similar trade conditions at the global level by working with national governments, banks, business people. In control are the G7, who also have the world's largest transnational corporations, and especially the US. This is being used as the economic and military force of the ruling class. I'm told I have about 3 minutes, so I don't know how I should put it, but let me end this way. You all know about Dr. Martin Luther King. And part of the solution lies in what he said when he was answering journalists who asked him, when the Negroes have their civic rights, what else are you going to need? You know, you have your civil rights. So Dr. Martin Luther King said, what would you do if somebody took a knife 7 inches long, put it in on the side of your stomach or wherever, all the 7 inches, how would you feel? Definitely you say, I feel pain. And then if this person says, okay, I'll take 1 inch, how do you feel now? Maybe you will sound ungrateful if you say, I still feel the pain, you know? And this says a lot.